Welcome back to Reveal His Kingdom, and this is Renew the Mind series. Reveal His Kingdom, we're just a fellowship of Jesus followers learning to live the kingdom lifestyle through worship, health, and freedom. Today, we're going to be talking about perfect peace through a fixed mind. We're going to be looking at Isaiah 26:3. Reveal His Kingdom. You've tried the world's version of peace. You've probably tried, like me and many, many other people, positive thinking. You've tried manifestation. You've tried morning affirmations, maybe a vision board, and you still can't quiet your mind because peace isn't found in a mindset. Peace is actually found in a person. And when we look at Isaiah, we're going to be looking at Isaiah 26:3. He tells us exactly where that peace lives. We're going to be reading it out of the New Living Translation. You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. This is Isaiah 26:3 from the New Living Translation. You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. And so today we're going to go pretty deep into this verse. We're going to be talking about how God's way of renewing your mind brings real peace, not temporary calm, but actual real peace. And so let's start with a little bit of context. Isaiah 26, this chapter is actually a song of victory, the prophet Isaiah. It was written during a time of absolute chaos. It was written during a time of uncertainty, and that may be true for you right now. You may be in chaos. You may be in uncertainty. And Isaiah wrote it as part of a vision that he received about a future time in peace. It wasn't about right then, it was about a future time of peace when God's people would finally be safe inside his walls of salvation, meaning that they would be safe inside the walls of salvation of God. This wasn't written to comfortable people. This was written to a nation that was under pressure. They were surrounded by enemies on all sides, and where peace to them seemed almost impossible. And again, that may be true for you today. Peace may not seem possible for you. Maybe uncertainty and chaos swirling around you. Yet the prophet Isaiah declares, "You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you." You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you. You is God. God will keep in perfect peace all who trust in God. God will keep in perfect peace all who trust in God. The question is, do you want perfect peace? And the other question is, do you trust in God? The emphasis here is really in the words perfect peace. Perfect peace. And in Hebrew, when it was written in Hebrew, it's called shalom, shalom, which means complete wholeness, which means double peace. It's peace repeated two times. It's completeness, it's soundness, it's wholeness of being. It's just not emotional calm, it's actual spiritual wholeness when you say shalom, shalom. Digging a little bit deeper, if you unpack this verse just a little bit more, the phrase you will keep in Hebrew is actually a word called tishmor, meaning to guard, to watch over, to preserve. So what Isaiah is actually saying is he's saying God himself is guarding your peace, not you. And that's good news. God himself is guarding your peace, not you. People have shown themselves not to be good guardians of peace, but God himself is guarding that peace. But there's a condition in this verse that Isaiah gives. There's a condition, and the peace is for all whose thoughts are fixed on you, right? So the word fixed comes from a word called samak, meaning to lean on, to rest upon, to be supported by. So it's not just about thinking about God occasionally, it's about resting your entire mental weight on him. It's about resting your entire mental weight on him. So he keeps in perfect peace all who trust in him, whose thoughts are fixed on him. So God will keep you in perfect peace as long as you keep your thoughts and your eyes and your heart fixed on God. So trust equals leaning on. Do you lean on God? Do you trust in God? And are your thoughts fixed? When you can fix your thoughts on God, and he allows that protection of your perfect peace, you can rest your mind a little bit more. You don't get perfect peace by forcing calm onto yourself. You get it by trusting deeply. And this is a hard challenge for a lot of people. A lot of people want to try to force things to happen, but you've got to completely trust. Your mind leans on Jesus, right? When you're able to lean your mind on Jesus, peace will flow way more naturally. Peace will flow way more naturally for you. So let's be real for a minute. The world has its own versions of renewing the mind. The world has its own way of personal development and mindset training and all those kinds of things. The world will say all kinds of things in that space. Focus on yourself. You need to focus on yourself. You need to visualize your future. You need to control your thoughts to control your life. And when you listen to those, there's a lot of yours in there. You focus on you. You visualize you and your future. You control your thoughts and you control your life. It sounds good, right? But it's actually built on self dependence, you dependence, as opposed to spirit dependence. And that's where God is wanting us to focus to. That's where the prophet Isaiah is trying to shift our focus onto God, on spirit dependence, not on self dependence, because you cannot find peace by trusting the same mind that's causing unrest. I'll say that again. You cannot and will not find peace by trusting the same mind that's causing you unrest. So if your current thinking and everything that you've done and what you've trusted, if you're in chaos and you're in uncertainty and you don't have peace, that means your mind is creating that reality for you. So you cannot find peace by trusting the same mind that's causing unrest. You need a renewing of the mind, which is a renewing of the heart, which is more focused on God. God's ways are way much better than the world's ways that are out there. So Romans, if we look at Romans 8:6, the Apostle Paul wrote in Romans 8:6 that letting your sinful nature control your mind leads to death. Letting your sinful nature control your mind leads to death, but letting the Spirit control your mind leads to life and to peace. Right? So spirit-led mind equals peace. That's what the Apostle Paul said in Romans 8:6. So God's way of renewing your mind isn't about control. It's about absolute surrender. It's not about mastering your thoughts. It's actually about fixing your thoughts on the master. The master is Jesus Christ. You see the difference? The world trains your mind to chase peace, but God trains your mind to rest in his peace because he is peace. So I want to give you a couple practical strategies, three practical strategies. How would you fix your thoughts on God every single day? Again, I always give these practical strategies every single week on Renewing the Mind series. I would try them out, see if they work for you, but I know that most people won't do them. But I'm going to challenge you to do them every single week. I'm going to challenge you to do it because I believe that if you did this every single day of every single week of every single month, renewing the mind is not a one-time thing. It's a lifelong pursuit. It's not something you do once in a while. It's something you should do all the time so that you can retrain, rewire your mind. So this is the default setting for you. And so these strategies are meant to be simple, practical strategies that you can do every single day. Number one, replace, don't repress. What does that mean? It means that when you have anxious thoughts that hit you, don't just say things like, I need to stop worrying about this. You actually need to replace those negative, anxious thoughts with the word. You need to say this instead of saying, I need to stop worrying, you should say, God, you promised me in perfect peace as I trust you. God, you promised me to keep me in perfect peace as I trust you. You can focus to Philippians 4:8, which says, fix your thoughts on what is true, what is honorable, what is right, what is pure, lovely, and admirable. Your peace follows your focus. Your peace follows your focus. If your focus is on Jesus, the Prince of Peace, your peace will follow in that direction as well. Strategy number two, build a rhythm of stillness. Build a rhythm of stillness. What does that mean? That means that peace grows in silence. Before you scroll, before you post, before you plan your day and start getting involved into all different kinds of rabbit holes and emails, pause and fix your thoughts on Jesus first. A minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of shifting your focus onto Jesus can shift your entire mindset for the day. Number one, replace, don't repress. Build a rhythm of stillness. And then number three, train your trust. Train your trust. Faith is not a feeling, it's a discipline. Faith is not a feeling, it's a discipline. Every time you choose to trust God instead of your own understanding, your mind is being renewed. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Each act of trust that you have every single day, every single hour if you need to, Every single act of trust is like lifting weights. It's a mental repetition. It's a workout for your soul. When was the last time you intentionally worked out your soul? The transformation process. So, renewing your mind, like I said, it's not a weekend project. It's not something you get done in an hour. It's something that you do every single day. It's a lifelong transformation. Romans 12:2. The Apostle Paul again says, don't copy the behaviors and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way that you think. So transformation begins with your thoughts. Transformation begins with your thoughts. When your mind is fixed on Jesus, not on problems, not on pressure, you begin to see life through his peace. You stop reacting and you start responding. You stop striving and you start resting. That's what perfect peace looks like. It's not the absence of storms. It's actually the presence of the Prince of Peace in the middle of them. Just think about when they were on the storm, all the apostles, and he was down there taking a nap, and they were all worried and concerned, but the Prince of Peace was in the boat. It doesn't matter about the storms, and you're never going to get rid of all the storms in your life. And it's not about the absence of storms. Like I said, it's the presence of the Prince of Peace that's in the middle of the storm, as long as you keep your eyes fixed on him. So I want to ask you to ask yourself, these questions. Where have my thoughts been fixed lately? Ask yourself, where have my thoughts been fixed lately? Ask yourself, have they been fixed more on my problems? Have they been fixed more on your pain? Or have you been fixing them more on his promises? Are you focused more on Jesus, or are you focused more on the world? Are you focused more on the problems and the pain, or are you focused more on Jesus and his promises? Because if you want peace, you don't chase peace. You chase Jesus. Because peace is not a mindset, it's a byproduct of his presence. It's a byproduct of his presence. And so if you need to, you can pray. You can pray a prayer that's like this: Lord, teach me to trust you more deeply. Fix my thoughts on you. Guard my heart and mind with your perfect peace. Remind me daily that peace isn't found in performance, but in presence, in you, Jesus. Lord, teach me to trust you more deeply. Fix my thoughts on you. Guard my heart and my mind with your perfect peace. Remind me daily that peace isn't found in performance, but in presence, in you, Jesus. Amen. So if you've been trying to renew your mind the world's way, I'll tell you to stop striving. Stop striving and start surrendering, because the peace that you're actually looking for isn't achieved, it's actually received. The peace that you're looking for isn't achieved, it's actually received. And so you need to fix your thoughts on him. Fix your thoughts on him. When your thoughts are fixed on Jesus, your heart becomes unshakable. When your thoughts are fixed on Jesus, your faith becomes unstoppable. And when your thoughts are fixed on Jesus, your life begins to overflow with his peace. So today, you just need to stop scrolling for peace. You need to stop searching for hacks. You need to start fixing your thoughts on the one who holds your mind, the one who holds your heart, and the one who holds your future. He will keep you in perfect peace if you trust in him. He will keep you in perfect peace if you trust in him. I'm going to give you two more questions to consider. And the reason why I like giving questions is it starts to create an awareness in you. It starts to create an awareness in you. That instant answer that comes to it is usually the one that's the right answer. If you start overthinking it, you can lead yourself down into different traps for yourself. But number one question to consider, and be radically real with yourself. If you want real transformation, you want real peace, the type that the prophet Isaiah is talking about in 26:3, perfect peace. Be real with yourself in these questions. Number one, is my mind fixed on God or distracted by circumstances? Be real. Is your mind fixed on God or distracted by circumstances? Number two, what specific piece am I missing due to misplaced thoughts? What specific piece am I missing due to misplaced thoughts? If you misplace your thoughts, if you're reckless with your thinking, if you're careless with your thinking, if you're unaware of your thinking, you're missing out on so much peace in your life. You're missing out on the Prince of Peace You're missing out on, as Isaiah would say, his perfect peace. You're missing out on it. And so I would encourage you to go back through this verse, Isaiah 26:3. Find that perfect peace for yourself. I pray that King Jesus' perfect peace would rain down on you today. I would challenge you to be radically real in the questions that you're asking of yourself. And I would challenge you to use those strategies that I laid out. Simple, practical strategies, 3 of them. Challenge yourself to do it every single day. If you found value in this series, I would ask that you would please subscribe to the channel, share it with someone, and comment, what is it that you're looking for? What type of perfect peace are you looking for? It's found through a fixed mind. This is Reveal His Kingdom. Every single week, Renew the Mind series. Look at a different verse every single week. Renew the mind. You deserve to know God's way is so much better than the world's way. Like I said, revealing His kingdom, built for eternity, saved by grace through faith. Jesus is King of Kings and He is Lord of Lords. And I pray that you have a very blessed day today. Thank you.